confused और मुझे लगा था कि बाय द टाइम आई डू माई नेक्स्ट लाइव एटलीस्ट कुछ तो पता चलेगा सैफ अली खान के केस में, बट इट कंटिन्यूज टू बी एक्सट्रीमली बैफलिंग स्टिल. सैफ अली खान इज़ आउट ऑफ द हॉस्पिटल जैसा आपको पता है अभी, एंड ही इज़ डूइंग रियली फाइन. और काफ़ी लोगों ने वो वीडियो देखकर भी कहा कि ऐसे कैसे, मतलब somebody who has gone through such a brutal attack which was almost fatal, he is walking out as if nothing has happened. So we're going to be talking about that, and I was researching about this case a lot. और मैं और मेरी टीम और हम लोग काफ़ी सारे स्टोरीज पढ़ रहे थे. आई स्पोक टू अ फ्यू पीपल एज वेल, and we were trying to make sense of it, and we said कि okay, let's try and get all the questions out and see maybe we are missing out on something, but it turns out that everyone's still very confused. Only 3 people have joined so far, so I've done it unannounced, and I don't want to do this for a very long time because jitna ho sake, this is going to be my last video on the Saif Ali Khan case because I don't think it's going anywhere, and कुछ दिनों बाद वैसे ही the story will die down, so nobody's going to be talking about that. हाई सर, बिग फैन फ्रॉम उत्तर प्रदेश. हाई इनोसेंट फाइल्स, आपकी कोई अच्छी चैनल है क्या? आई शुड चेक इट आउट. थैंक यू सो मच. और हम लोग सैफ अली खान के केस की बात कर रहे हैं. राहुल इज़ जॉइंड, ही सेइंग नाइस टू सी यू ऑनलाइन. एंड मेरे पास ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं, आई जस्ट वांट टू क्विकली गेट दिस ओवर विद बिकॉज आई वाज रीडिंग कपल ऑफ रिपोर्ट्स जो अभी आ रहे हैं, एंड वन ऑफ देम इज़ दैट पेपर, जो एडमिशन पेपर होता है वो हमारे सामने आया है फ्रॉम द हॉस्पिटल, जिसमें ये लिखा गया है कि सैफ अली खान वॉज ब्रॉट इन एट 4:30 AM बाय हिज फ्रेंड अफजर जईदी. ही इज़ अ फैमिली फ्रेंड ऑफ द पतौड़ीज़. और इसमें लिखा हुआ है कि सैफ अली खान एज 54 फ्रॉम सदगुरु शरण. पूरा एड्रेस है विच आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू शो बिकॉज सेफ्टी के वजह से. और अब तो सबको पता ही है वैसे. ब्रॉट टू द हॉस्पिटल बाय अफजर जईदी, रिलेशन फ्रेंड. एडमिशन डेट 16/1/2025. ऑफकोर्स उस दिन उनका हुआ था अटैक. एडमिशन टाइम इज़ 4:11 AM को कट करके PM कर दिया है. नहीं, आई थिंक हाँ टिक किया, AM को टिक किया उन्होंने, कट नहीं किया है. पुलिस इंटीमेशन सेंट बिकॉज असॉल्ट बाय अननोन पर्सन टुडे एट 2:30 AM and he is brought in at 4:11 while at home in Bandra, sustaining multiple lacerations, wounds and bleeding. There are 6 pointers after that, जहाँ जहाँ उनको लगी थी उसके. lacerations over back 5 to 1 centimeter deep, laceration over lateral, I don't know क्या लिखा है, aspect of wrist 5 to 10 centimeter again. laceration मतलब cut, हाँ. laceration over side of the neck 10 to centimeter 15 centimeters deep. उसके बाद 4th is laceration on shoulder which is 3 to 5 centimeters. elbow abrasion wound 5 centimeters. or then there is a registration number, or Dr. Bhargavi Patil received him, sign of the doctor on duty. ठीक है, उनकी साइन भी है भार्गवी डॉक्टर की. और ये उनको 4:11 को अफजर जईदी करके उनके फ्रेंड है वो लेकर आए थे. तो फिर नाउ दिस रिपोर्ट ऑब्वियसली केम आउट इन मीडिया, और रिपब्लिक टीवी एज ऑलवेज वाज one of the first channels to report about this, and I don't really believe so many things that are reported in most of these channels. So they said कि why अफजर जईदी had brought सैफ अली खान. हमको तो ये बताया गया था कि he came with Ibrahim, his son, his elder son, and Taimur was also with him. So Afzar Zaidi said that he was not in the auto rickshaw. He came later on, but obviously Taimur can't sign, so उन्होंने sign किया था और उनका नाम. और जब ये फॉर्म भरा गया तब around 4:11 हो चुकी थी, but by then he was already admitted. So now the question again is कि अगर Ibrahim was there, why couldn't he sign? Why couldn't he fill the form? Taimur fill नहीं कर सकता, but Ibrahim तो कर सकता था ना. And the other thing which I didn't also understand is that if Ibrahim had already reached Saif and Karina's house along with Amrita Singh, and they didn't have a driver, couldn't Ibrahim drive his father? He's a 23-year-old boy. Couldn't he drive his father? I'm sure he knows how to drive. to the hospital? Why did they have to look for an auto rickshaw? So that's another question. Also सबसे बड़ी क्वेश्चन तो यही है कि वो पहला आदमी जिनको इन्होंने पकड़ा था वो कहाँ पर है, वो अभी तक मिला ही नहीं है और उसका किसी को नहीं पता. दिस गाय, आई डोंट नो वेयर ही इज़. और अभी कोई इसके बारे में बात भी नहीं कर रहा है. आप लोग को अगर कुछ पता है तो प्लीज़ हमें बताइए. If anybody has read something or if anybody knows anything about this, then please let us know, so we can also throw some light on this case, because we've been following this case from ever since it happened, but there are only questions still. A lot of things still don't add up. Saif and Karina met that doctor, or not the doctor, the auto driver also, who had come to the rescue of Saif Ali Khan, और उनको उन्होंने कुछ 50,000 rupees दिए. Those are the reports. They're also going to reward the nanny, because the nanny was in the house at that time and she shielded his younger son Jay. Now, do you know how the whole incident unfolded? If you don't know, then I can tell you what happened from whatever I have read up and researched and spoken to people, and I can relate the entire incident to you. But if you guys are interested, because some 17 people have only joined and nobody is messaging anything, so I don't know really if you guys are still tuned in, and if you guys are still with me. तो मैंने ये live इसलिए किया because this is the pretty much the last video that I am doing on Saif Ali Khan case, and really I don't know कि आगे इसमें कुछ होने वाला भी है कि नहीं. और जितना हमने देखा है इस केस में और जितना हमने सुना है, पढ़ा है, a lot of things are still not adding up and they are not making sense, which is really shocking, because on the face of it, it was a very simple open and shut burglary case. But why there are so many questions which I still don't understand, and especially that one man who was caught on the CCTV camera, who was he? Nobody knows and nobody is talking, nobody is asking anything, and I wish उसके ऊपर कुछ हमको पता चले, because this is one of the biggest questions of this case. And a lot of people said that Saif Ali Khan, the way he walked out of the hospital was also very suspicious, because anybody who has suffered these kind of wounds wouldn't be so okay so soon. And if you just go back to what I read out, you will feel that these wounds were very deep. Every cut, every laceration was about 10 to 15 centimeters, and even on his neck and even on his spine, and only the one on the shoulder was about 5 centimeters. Everything else was pretty deep. So this in itself is very serious, and a lot of people are like messaging right now. Maria is saying this is a fake case, and somebody else just messaged right now. Ray is saying nothing adds up. A lot of things don't add up. Now you see, these are the men who they caught. These are all the men that people, like right now only this is the guy who they have in custody. All of these guys, we don't know who they are. This guy, I still don't know what is the deal with him. Him they caught from that station near on the train to Chhattisgarh, Durg, and they let him off. This guy they caught near the other station buying the earphones, just because he resembled this guy, and then they let him off. And now again, who is this guy? Who does he look like? Does he look like him? I don't know. There are all these guys, apart from these two, they don't really look similar, and there is so much confusion because there are so many people, and Maria is saying innocent people are being put in trouble. Sir, दूसरे किसी केस के बारे में बात करो ना. अभी मैंने इसके ऊपर से क्या होता है ना कि when cases like these happen, and when even if like I was still working with the news channel, they would give me a story to, or I would do a story, then I would completely be invested in that story, and I would be talking to people about it, and I'll be researching on that. I'll be going through different reports from everywhere, और ये सब जो चीज़ें आती हैं हमारे पास, FIR और वो सारी चीज़ें, तो वो पढ़ना पड़ता है. तो you invest so much in one case, no, then there is really not much time to look at any other case, because believe it or not, अगर आप लोग बिलीव करो तो अच्छी बात है कि एक ऐसा क्राइम का केस होता है, जो स्टोरी होती है उसको आपके सामने सही तरीके से लाने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत लगती है और बहुत ज़्यादा रिसर्च लगती है। भले ही वो रिसर्च आप अपने डेस्क पे बैठ के अपने लैपटॉप में, लेकिन इतने सारे रिपोर्ट्स पढ़ना, इतने सारे चीज़ों को एनालाइज करना, देन इवन टॉकिंग टू अ फ्यू पीपल एंड trying to put two and two together also takes a lot of time and effort. तो it's not easy to follow 2-3 cases at a time. इसके लिए एक केस के बारे में हम बात करते हैं, और मुझे कई बार ये भी लगता है कि हम सब एक केस के बारे में इतनी सारी बातें करते हैं, देन सडनली वी ऑल फॉरगेट एंड वी मूव ऑन। अभी हमें कुछ भी नहीं पता होता बाकी के केसेस का क्या हो रहा है। जैसे द वन दैट आई हैड कवर्ड नाउ ऑन संडे, बाय द वे आई एम गेटिंग दैट लॉयर ऑफ दैट accused Fennel. He slashed the throat of his supposed girlfriend back in Surat in 2022, in February 2022, in front of his entire family, and she died on the spot. And I had spoken to this lawyer when I went to Surat. I also wanted to meet him, but he didn't meet me. And now when I spoke to him the other day, he said that this Fennel, this guy, is walking out in 2035 because his life term or whatever सज़ा ही गॉट इज एंडिंग। उनको पहले तो फेनिल को दे हैड गिवन हिम डेथ पेनल्टी, बट देन आई थिंक इट गॉट चेंज टू अ लाइफ, बट नाउ देयर ही इज सेइंग दैट 2035 में ही इज गोइंग टू वॉक आउट इन 10 years, which is very less for a crime like this according to me. But we will talk to him on Sunday. I hope that he comes. मतलब उन्होंने पहले मुझे बोला सैटरडे करेंगे, अब वो बोल रहे संडे करेंगे, तो ठीक है, मैं संडे भी करने के लिए रेडी हूँ, बिकॉज आई रियली वॉन्ट टू नो कि ये केसेस का होता क्या है, और कितने सारे ऐसे केसेस हमें पता ही नहीं इनके बारे में। हम जब होते हैं तब इतनी सारी बातें करते हैं, बट देन ये चलो इस केस में तो इट्स नॉट दैट serious because nobody died, but there are so many cases and so many stories where common people are involved and so much injustice happens with them and nobody talks about it, or at least when people watch these videos and talk about it and at least there is some sort of chatter about it, तो थोड़ा सा तो प्रेशर बनेगा जो लोग इसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं और जो जिनको जस्टिस की ज़रूरत है इन केसेस में। तो बट कमिंग बैक टू सैफ अली खान केस, दिस इज़ रियली द लास्ट वीडियो। कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, और अब तो बर्गलरी मोटिव है कि नहीं वो भी नहीं पता है, बट नाउ द पुलिस इज़ एटलीस्ट सेइंग दैट अच्छा एनपीसी कुछ बोल रहे हैं, मैं अभी पढ़ता हूँ वापस आपका जो कमेंट है वो, बिकॉज आई कांट सी द कमेंट्स ओवर हियर वेरी वेल। हाँ, एनपीसी आपकी कमेंट ये है, आई थिंक द बर्गलरी एंड द क्राइम हैपेंड एट द सेम टाइम. I mean, when there was crime was happening at the same time, the burglar stole at the same time. No, what crime? Now, there is no motive only, no, because the burglar, police is saying कि उनको पता नहीं था कि the burglar didn't know, the चोर जो था उनको पता नहीं था कि ये एक सेलिब्रिटी का घर है, वो ऐसे ही घुस गया था thinking that it is just anybody's house, और वो जो भी चोरी करके निकलेगा वहाँ से, बट चोरी तो उसको करने का मौका नहीं मिला। कई लोग बोल रहे थे कि ज्वेलरी बाहर पड़ी थी तो क्यों नहीं चुराई, बट अब सब उठ गए हैं घर में, ऑब्वियसली इस कॉट, तो वो अब चोरी तो गई, अभी तो उसको जान बचा के निकलना है वहाँ से कैसे भी करके। सो दैट द बेनिफिट ऑफ डाउट आई कैन गिव देम, बट रियली व्हाट वाज द मोटिव वो अभी इतना क्लियरली वो भी नहीं समझ में आ रहा है। देन आफ्टर दिस थिंग हैपेंड, देन देयर वर सो मेनी रिपोर्ट्स अबाउट Saif's ancestral property in Patodi, which is about 15,000 crores and all that. But उसका भी कुछ वो लग नहीं रहा है. Then there was talk about his insurance also. But again, these things aren't adding up a lot. The only key questions that I have in this case is कि ये इंसान कौन है, ये कहाँ पर है, और this guy has he really done the crime, because his family obviously saying that, वो खुद बोल रहा है कि मैंने नहीं किया. I mean, of course, he will say that. But his family is also saying that. And secondly, वो पूरा रिक्शा वाला थिंग मुझे इतना समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि वाई दे टुक हिम इन एन ऑटो। ऐसा अगर किसी के भी घर पे होता तो पहले सबसे पहले यू विल टेक द vehicle which is the closest, which is your car which is lying in your parking. You don't have to call anyone. And he had Ibrahim with him at that time. And third and the most important thing is that how easily the entire thing unfolded and the burglar went inside and came out from the window. Matlab, there are too many questions here and it's really not a very straightforward case. But now Saif is okay and he's walked out seeming completely all right. At least now they should do a press conference and clear things out, because a lot of people asking so many questions, and maybe once I was just watching one of the debates that were happening, and my former boss Ronak was asking that somebody said that privacy, the family has asked for privacy, and he got so mad. He's like, "What privacy? They are public figures." That's a whole completely different debate. Now, if you're even I feel I think I'm with Ornav in that if you're a public figure and if you want Janta ka support every now and then when your film is coming out, then you can't be selective about it. That when something that doesn't suit you is happening, at that time you say, no, I don't want people to talk about it. I don't want people to ask me anything. I don't want this to be covered. And when my film is coming, I want everyone to cover. I want to be everywhere. I want my videos to go viral. I want the media to be there. I want the social media to be there. And I want the paparazzi to be there. But when it suits me, when I don't want to talk about things that are happening in my life, I don't want anyone to talk about it. ऐसा selective नहीं हो सकता ना. If you are in public eye and if you are, your entire existence and your entire work life depends on public viewing and public watching, then you can't be selective that your one compartment of your life will definitely not be spoken about. Nobody has the right to talk about it. No, that it's practically not possible, and I think it's ethically also not possible, because you can't have both worlds. Either then you choose a job like be a banker, nobody's going to bother you. Be a normal 9 to 6 CEO, you will earn a lot of money and nobody will really care about you. I mean, they are also popular, big business people are also popular, but people don't go after them so much, like, you know, कि हर एक उनकी चीज़ आप ध्यान से देखो, सुनो, पढ़ो. सो मुझे लगता है कि ये भी एक चीज़ है. और जब भी हम इंटरव्यूज़ भी करते हैं तो मुझे ये भी चीज़ नहीं अच्छी लगती कि PR पीपल और बॉलीवुड के खुद के जो मतलब स्टार्स के जो भी होते हैं PR वाले या उनके असिस्टेंट्स जो होते हैं जो ये इंटरव्यूज़ करवाते हैं, they always want us to only ask questions about the topic at hand or the film or the trailer that they are launching. Why should you put guardrails on a journalist or anyone who you've called for interview? अब तो क्या journalist क्या सब लोग interview करते हैं. You can't call a social media influencer journalist. तो journalist शब्द की बहुत ज़्यादा तौहीन हो जाएगी ये. So you can't tell people कि ask this only, don't ask that. तुम बैठे हो interview देने के लिए, be ready for the questions. If you don't want to answer, say no comment. Say I don't want to answer this. वो क्या मार थोड़ी डालेगा तुम्हें. But you can't stop them from asking. पहले तुम ये नहीं बोल सकते कि ये भी मत पूछो, ये भी मत पूछो, सिर्फ यही पूछो. तो फिर इंटरव्यू मत कराओ. Then you record one whole thing in front of you. Get somebody to do your interview. Pay that person if you want to, or tell your co-star to do your questioning, and put it out. वैसे भी वही चीज़ बोलने वाले हो ना. तो फिर अब सब वही पूछेंगे, ये आपकी इस फिल्म में रोल क्या है, आपको ये फिल्म कैसे मिली, ये फिल्म करते वक्त आपका क्या एक्सपीरियंस रहा, इसके साथ काम करके आपको कैसा लगा. देन व्हाट इज़ द पॉइंट. एवरी जर्नलिस्ट, एवरी क्वेश्चन विल बी डिफरेंट. एवरी इंटरव्यूअर विल हैव अ डिफरेंट टेक ऑन हाउ टू आस्क क्वेश्चंस एंड हाउ टू गो अबाउट दिस होल थिंग. अभी आप क्या पूछ रहे हैं, NPC बोल रहे हैं, व्हाई आर बॉलीवुड बिगविग्स टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस. क्या, व्हाट विल दे से? What will they say? Like, they only say when somebody is asking, and it's just stupid to even get reactions from, you know, other Bollywood stars. What do you expect them to say? If you are a co-actor or you are another industry person and somebody asks, some journalist asks you, Saif Ali Khan पे इतना बड़ा अटैक हुआ, आपका क्या कहना है? You'll say, I'm very happy. I love it, you know, when something like this happens, or I'm very shocked that this happened, but I'm also very, confused कि हुआ क्या था. Nobody will say that. They'll all say, oh, it's very sad, ऐसा होना नहीं चाहिए, security, ये वो सब वही चीज़ें बोलेंगे. Nobody is gonna say anything other than that. And those who really want to say something, they will not wait for a journalist or anyone to ask them. They will go on Twitter, or they will go on some fiery news anchor's show and start talking, or they'll themselves make some video about it. किसके पास आज प्लेटफॉर्म्स की कमी है. तो सारी चीज़ें हैं. बट चलिए, अभी आप इस केस में तो यही है कि 3-4 बड़े सवाल ही है. देयर इज़ नो आंसर टू इट, एंड आई रियली होप दैट वी गेट सम आंसर्स एट लीस्ट, बिकॉज सबने इतना टाइम और एफर्ट इन्वेस्ट किया इसके अंदर. एंड इट्स नॉट ऑल्सो अबाउट दैट. It's just that this story is so baffling. It's in the public domain, and nobody really knows what happened, what was the motive, who was the real person, who were the other people who were caught on the camera, in the CCTV camera, why was he taken by the auto, why not somebody driving him, the time lapse between the actual reaching at the hospital and what's written on that sheet. And सबसे बड़ी बात obviously कि you know after such deep gashes on his entire body, he walked out looking visibly great, which is a good thing for him and maybe a great PR exercise for Leelavati also. The doctors are extremely talented then and very able to actually you know get Saif Ali Khan out, not just out of danger but completely all right in just 5 or 6 days. So chalo, all's well in the, that ends well in this case for Saif Ali Khan, but really the questions are extremely baffling. And I was just reading one other report. Raveena Tandon condemns attack on Saif Ali Khan, demands stronger measures in Bandra targeting celebs. You remember Raveena Tandon's case, which also I had covered, and I had actually got Raveena Tandon on my show on radio over here in Dubai to talk about it when a few people had attacked her a couple of months back. And that case was okay, like, you know, in the sense that, you know, there were not so many questions and it was very clear that the driver who was, Raveena Tandon's driver, was outside her gate and he didn't hit anyone, and still that mob of people wanted to beat him up. And then Raveena came out, and I know her personally, she's a very nice person, and I don't think that she would have reacted any differently in a case like this, because her own employee or somebody who's working with her was being attacked. She came out to save him and she almost got assaulted in that entire thing. But ऐसे सवाल नहीं थे उस पूरे केस में जैसे सैफ अली खान वाले केस में. बट एनीवे जो भी है, मुझे कुछ अगर ज़्यादा पता चलता है तो ही आई विल मेक अनदर वीडियो, अदरवाइज देयर इज नो पॉइंट रियली मेकिंग अनदर वीडियो, स्पेंडिंग एन एंटायर डे going round and round in circles, looking at the same reports all over again, seeing the same photos all over again. Absolutely no new information coming forth about who really was that guy who we saw in the CCTV camera. All the other questions that I've already said. If you have anything else to say, please leave your comments and I'll definitely answer them. I've become more active back on YouTube and I will continue doing that. और NPC बोल रहे will Saif Ali Khan release CCTV footage of his house? Why would he do that? और घर के अंदर कौन CCTV रखता है? I don't think घर के अंदर CCTV तो उनके है, और क्यों मतलब होना चाहिए घर के अंदर, unless you are you know, एक ऐसा मे बी रूम होगा घर का जो मतलब जहाँ पे किड्स हैं और किड्स आर विथ strangers. Ultimately, you know, they are outsiders, the nannies and the people who take care of their kids. तो वहाँ पे CCTV कैमरा हो सकता है to make sure that the kids are safe. But other than that, I don't think किसी के घर के अंदर CCTV होता है, घर के बाहर होता है. तो I don't think they are releasing any footage or anything. They are not even talking about it. Forget about releasing the footage. So until we get some more information and until we find something more worthwhile to talk about in this case, this is my last video for Saif Ali Khan. जो भी आपके सवाल या अगर जवाब है आपके पास, if you are one of the few people who has any answers in this, then please leave them below in the comments. And thank you for watching. Jai Hind. Take care of yourself.